welcome you once again to our New Jersey studios on the path to Naples. The 2016 FBU National Championship is upon us. The 6th edition, Neil Sika and Youth1.com's National Scouting Director, Alan Popadines. My good buddy, it's like Christmas for you. Ready to go?
Hey, it's another year. We're back here in the New Jersey studio, ready to kick it off.
We are previewing the 6th and 7th graders out of the Northeast Regional this year. A little bit of a change to the format. It's a super regional, where the teams that play in 3 games will then advance down to Naples. More on that in a bit, but first let's take a look at the matchups in 6th grade that start this Friday, December 2nd. Connecticut meets NYC, and Long Island takes on Massachusetts. Rhode Island has a bye. Down at the bottom half of the bracket of the Northeast Regional, in Fort Mill, South Carolina, Northern New Jersey will play Maryland. Southern New Jersey takes on Charlotte, and Indiana receives a bye. And here are the matchups in the 7th grade Northeast Regional. In Newport, Rhode Island, Connecticut squares off with NYC. New Hampshire meets Massachusetts. Rhode Island has a bye. Down in Fort Mill, South Carolina, in the bottom half of the bracket, Northern New Jersey and Maryland collide. Southern New Jersey takes on Charlotte, and Indiana plays Northern Virginia. Al, we've seen a couple of teams that have had the pedigree and tradition, like a Massachusetts or a Maryland, but a team like Rhode Island last year really made some progress, and we could see a few more of those teams do the same this year.
And that's what's so great about the FBU National Championship tournament is, yes, you have those traditional powers, the Marylands, the Massachusetts, the Connecticut's, the teams that have paved the way for this tournament. But just last year, Rhode Island came out of nowhere, surprised the world, and made it all the way, down to the 3rd round. This year, what team's going to stand up? What team's going to stand out? We don't know yet.
It'll be very interesting, too, with Charlotte and South Carolina moving up to the Northeast Regional. Much more to come, including Youth 1's Pop's Top 4. That's on deck after these messages.
You can ask any coach, player, or fan. Before the beaches, the golf courses, the sunsets, Florida is known for football. But in Naples, Marco Island, you get them all. With the facilities and accommodations perfect for your off-season training, tournament, or event. Florida's Paradise Coast is Florida's sports paradise.
The best youth football players in the country are at Youth1.com. Youth1.com has the Elite 101 report of the nation's top 101 players, the Freshman 450, rankings, recaps, and news for football and all youth sports. And now anyone can create an athlete profile and share their stats, videos, and skills with the world. Whether you want to be the best or see the best, go to Youth1.com, celebrating the best of youth sports.
The Path to Naples is brought to you by the Naples, Marco Island, and Everglades Convention and Visitors Bureau. Also by Battle Sports Science and Youth 1. Okay, without further ado, it is one of the great post-Thanksgiving traditions that I'm sure all you youngsters have been waiting for. It's the Youth 1 Pop's Top 4. It's top 4 seeds in 6th grade in this Northeast Regional. Are you ready for whatever may come?
I guess so.
Off of the backlash, that is. Let's start with the 4 seed. That's South Jersey, a program that's started to emerge more and more across all grade levels. And they've got a good quarterback in Jaden Young, and it's been a good year for Cleveland. And Cleveland Regis, the safety on this team, will help defensively, too. 2 good players.
Yeah, South Jersey is a program that's really, really coming on strong. Jaden Young, quarterback from North Brunswick, very, very high football IQ, can run and throw, a dual threat type kid. Really, really special young athlete. And if South Jersey can continue to develop him, he's going to be one to watch as we go forward. And Cleveland Regis, Cleveland Cavaliers aside, this kid is returning from last year. Made it as a 5th grader and actually stood out in the secondary, and he's going to be their leader, calling out formations and everything like that. He'll be playing safety, and look for him to go up and get that ball.
All right, that's the 4 seed South Jersey. The 3 seed is Indiana, and this group of 6th graders, a lot to live up to after the 6th graders last year went all the way to the Final Four. They've got aggressive players. They've got athletes. Brennan Wooten, TJ Gamble, two to keep an eye on.
Yeah, Wooten is a kid the world should be really excited about seeing. 5'11" at 155 pounds in only the 6th grade. You're looking at a great athlete. In open field, he can make people miss. He's got great hands, great speed. He high points the ball very well. And at 5'11" and only in the 6th grade, high pointing the ball like that, very big weapon. And you mentioned TJ Gamble, one of the most aggressive kids in the country for this 2022 class. You know, he's 5'7" and 150 pounds. And he hits really well, but is also a 100-meter sprinter in track. So it's a combination of speed and power.
The 6th grade 2 seed is Massachusetts. I think some of us, Pops, are wondering, this program's had good players, some good teams, but when will they get back to maybe some of those dominant runs we saw earlier in the FBU National Championship? This crop has that chance. Scotty Brown, James Watkins are taking the mantle.
Yeah, Brown is a kid that could be the catalyst for them getting back to that Final Four and championship form. He's a dual threat. He can run the ball, option sweep type kid. And the coaching staff and the team director there, they're very excited and feel this kid could be the guy to bring him back to the promised land.
All right, the 1 seed, Pop's top 4, 6th grade Northeast Regional is Maryland. And this is a group time and time again that has shown they can be very successful across all grade levels. They've got the most Final Four appearances for any program out there. Christian Rawlings and Jamari Somerville are starting a new tradition for the 6th grade Maryland group.
Yeah, in Maryland FBU, they do it right. If there's a program to model yourself after, it's this FBU Maryland team. The grassroots youth program is where a lot of these kids come from. And with Christian Rawlings, you know, he's a prime example of the product they produce. 5'7" and 115 pounds, fast, crafty with the ball, can move with power as well as some speed, loves contact. The defensive side of the ball, he'll play linebacker. One of the best athletes to really come through this program in a while. Great looking kid.
So South Jersey, Indiana, Massachusetts, Maryland, those are the top 4 in the 6th grade Northeast Regional. Got to have a sleeper, though. I like power football, and when I think of power football, I think of some running backs from New Jersey. There have been some good ones in this tournament, and North Jersey is your sleeper team. Bonsu and Catino, 2 last names that we'll keep an eye on in 2016.
Yeah, Bonsu is the bigger of the 2 backs, as you alluded to. He's a glider. And I wrote down in my notes here, reminds me of Eric Dickerson on the field. He's a big
High
kid.
praise.
Yeah, he's a big kid, not afraid to run somebody over, but can also hit that hole and be gone. And then Catino, he's a smaller back. He's the Lightning, the Thunder, smaller guy, but you get him out of the backfield and put him in space, he's going to shake, he's going to make guys miss, he can catch out of the backfield. Great 1-2 punch there for Team North Jersey.
That's only half of the unveiling of the Youth 1 Pops top 4. Those are the 6th graders. Now it's your top 4 seeds in the 7th grade and your sleeper pick. And we start with the team who was your 4 seed at 6th grade. Now, 7th graders, South Jersey. Here is a program, we already spoke about them emerging, made the regional semifinal last year against Rhode Island with Robert Fishbein back, with JoJo Bermudez, first team All-FBU-NC returning. They could be strong again.
Yeah, and these are 2 key components off last year's team. And Fishbein, he's an extremely smart quarterback. You know, he was a starter last year. Dad is a quarterback coach, so he has him working out and doing the right things off the field. You know, they call him Baby Peyton Manning for the way that he lines people up and manages the game. 5'6", 130 pounds, good-looking young kid. And then Bermudez, you know, JoJo going last year. He was all over the field, scoring touchdowns for South Jersey. Last year played running back. This year they're moving him to the slot. So read into that what you will. Maybe they're going to open up some more passing. I don't really know, but all I do know is that this kid makes plays when he touches the ball.
That's the 4 seed South Jersey. The 3 seed is Rhode Island. Small state, but big play for a group that last year as 6th graders made the regional final. They lost to Indiana, and they've got a good player coming back at running back, Jacob Gibbons, who was a first-team All-FBU National Championship performer and had a great summer at Top Gun, too.
Absolutely. Rhode Island is one of those feel-good stories, and I'm supposed to be unbiased, Neil, but I found myself rooting for this team last year because it's Rhode Island. They were a doormat for years, and now they make it very far last year and are back this year. And you said it, Gibbons. Look out for this kid. He is the it factor for Team Rhode Island. In 4 games last year in the tournament, ran for over 1,100 yards and scored 16 touchdowns.
There's a guy on defense you like, too. Hits like a train in Troy Washington.
Hey, you're only as good as your defense is, and that's where Washington comes in. 5'4". The kid is a Mike linebacker to the T. Great nose for the football. has been to the camps, speed, power, physical force, and from what the coaches tell me, when he hits, the other kids feel it.
That is your 3-seed Rhode Island. The 2-seed maybe feeling a little snub here. Well, we'll see how it plays out. Indiana, those 6th graders last year, they made the Final Four. They lost to Broward County. They're your 2 seeds, so that's very respectable. And a pretty good quarterback. And Devin Newton, a name that everyone should know by now because he had an excellent 2015 national championship.
Right, this quarterback that you hit on, Garrig Sluneker, 6'1", 155 pounds now. He's grown 2 inches, put on about 20 pounds. Last year, he was lighting up the scoreboard, throwing all over the place. Expect more of that. And in Newton, 5'8", 140 pounds, the type of running back that you don't have to take off the field in any situation. 3rd and 1, he can get you up the gut. 1st and 10, you want to run a draw, you want to run a screen, let him go. He's a great, great combo back.
I think Indiana's saying, well, we're feeling the snub because you picked us too, and Maryland as your top seed, 7th grade Northeast Regional. Well, last year, I know it's a different story, 6th grade team, Indiana beat Maryland in the regional semifinal. Right. So what's changed for Maryland? I'm guessing it starts with the quarterback, Wyatt Hagan.
Yeah, well, Maryland's, like we alluded to, they just reload every year, and they have new players come through grassroots. Great players, great selection committee gets them to the FBU team Maryland, and you hit it. Wyatt Hagan, he was at Top Gun this year, made first team all Youth 1 Top Gun. Just a polished kid. Great football IQ. Doesn't make a lot of dumb decisions. Can move around. He uses his scrambling ability to set up the pass. He's not looking to run. He's looking to get the ball downfield. Hagan is very, very effective and a very good weapon for Maryland. Defensively, I was going to mention Jordan Coakley, 5'8", 170-pound linebacker, sideline to sideline. First team all Youth 1 Top Gun this past summer. A big physical kid. 5'8", 170. You don't think he can move too much? He'll be back in your backfield before you know it.
I love how you keep an eye on all the kids over the summer at Top Gun and the FBU camps as they try and move the meter, get better, not only individually, but to help their national championship team. So Maryland is your 1 seed in the 7th grade. Your sleeper, Connecticut. And this is a program over the last couple of years. They've had some wins, some modest success. I think go back 2 years ago, make a run to the regional final at the 8th grade level. But these 7th graders now, they've got Champ Long and Eladio Thompson Jr.
Okay, yes, Champ Long comes from a program where he threw for over 1,000 yards this past year as a 7th grader. And I think back to youth football. I don't think my team put it up in the air more than 3-5 times.
They wouldn't let you throw it, no.
Well, I was on the offensive line.
That's true. That's true.
But he threw all over the field. Good-looking young prospect, live arm, can also run a little bit too. And Eladio Thompson Jr., he was also at Youth 1 Top Gun this year. So you're seeing, or FBU Top Gun, I'm sorry. He made the Youth 1 All-Second team. But you see, these kids go to the camps in the summer, and then they come through, and they're leading their FBU National Championship team. And Thompson's a kid who can do it all. Fast back, really good-looking prospect.
Some names to know across 7th grade and this Northeast Regional. One of the interesting perspectives, Charlotte, who's played in the South, they've had to go against GFL and the Broward counties, but now they moved to the Northeast. They could make a little bit of noise. Keep an eye on them. They've got a couple of good players in Curtis Neal and Eli Henderson.
Yeah, and how do they say, or how do people say you win championships? You start from the inside out with the O-line and D-line, and that's where we're going to turn to right now. Curtis Neal, mark it down. This kid will be an FBU All-American next year. 6'1", probably knocking on the door of around 300 pounds, will require a double team. Just a disruptive force playing for the Ballantine Gators out of the Charlotte area. And then Eli Henderson on the offensive line, 6'2", 250 pounds. He's a veteran of this stuff. He's been going to Top Gun for years, has been involved in the FBU National Championship. He's got the technique. The stage isn't too big. 2 good ones for Charlotte.
Good running back again, coming from North Jersey, this time in 7th grade, in Kashawn Hopkins.
Yeah, one cut and go type kid. Explosive through the hole. He waits for the hole to erupt, makes one cut that changes direction, and boom, he's gone. Great looking prospect for North Jersey. Look for him to tote the rock a lot.
So that's the 6th and 7th grade Northeast Regional Youth 1 Pops Top 4. And for Pops, final perspective here on this regional before we kick off the games. Traditional powers or teams that have had a lot of success, Maryland, Massachusetts, Indiana coming along. Can there be some new names, new faces that make deep runs and perhaps find their way to Southwest Florida?
Yeah, I absolutely think there can be. I mean, look what Rhode Island did last year, and no one picked South Jersey, me included last year. Look what they did. That's 2 new teams. Who's going to be next this year? I don't know, but it's certainly possible to go from unknown to champion.
he says he doesn't know, but he's the man in the know. This is the path to Naples, and we just took a look at the 6th and 7th graders from the Northeast Regional. Of course, we're leading you up to kickoff of the big tournament, the 6th edition of the FBU National Championship, and that'll come your way Friday, December 2nd. You can catch all the coverage and our previews of all the regions across all the grade levels coming up on FBUNC.com, as well as the FBU National Championship YouTube page. And don't forget, live streaming of the third round games. That's Monday, December 5th. Keep in mind, this year, the quarterfinalists will go to Southwest Florida. So more teams are making their way down to Naples, and that's a great thing to see. We'll have that coverage for you on Monday, December 5th. Until then, he's Pops, and I'm Neil. Thanks for watching this edition of the Northeast Regional Breakdown for the 6th and 7th graders on the path to Naples.